Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another GTA 6 video. My name is Saintsfan, and today we're going to be talking about GTA 6 Online, or GTA Online 2. We really don't know what Rockstar are going to call it just yet. And at this point, Rockstar, they haven't said anything officially about GTA Online. We're more than likely going to have to wait until sometime next year, probably early next year, before we get anything online related. That's usually one of the last things Rockstar put out. But a few days ago, there was a pretty big leak that shed some light on how the online is going to work and how it's going to differ from the GTA Online we all know in GTA 5. So that is what we're going to be taking a look at in today's video. Now, I do just want to give a quick disclaimer, take this with a grain of salt with all of these sort of leaks. This is actually coming from the same source that had the leak a few days ago, talking about how, development with GTA 6 has been chaotic and how the game, or the script at least, was rebooted a few times, and how the original script was too dark and Take-Two forced Rockstar to change it. When it comes to this particular leak, like I said in the video a couple of days ago, it is believable. Like, there are some things in it that checks out, but at the end of the day, we don't know how truthful this actually was. But considering that leak was pretty in-depth and it did make a lot of sense, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt. And also, we obviously have nothing else really going on in the GTA world, GTA 6 world at the moment. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Rockstar Games is preparing for the next version of GTA Online. So this guy apparently has an inside source in Rockstar, and the upcoming multiplayer game is codenamed GTA 6 MP. Which does sort of check out with how Rockstar names things, like in the internal structures and the files and stuff like that. It is currently at an advanced stage, he says, much more so than it was during the original GTA Online. And I think that just makes a lot of sense. The original GTA Online, I think, was just like an extra thing they added, and it turned into this gigantic thing. Well, now they know it's a gigantic thing, so they can obviously go a lot more in depth into it. Now, what's interesting, it was initially designed with a cloud gaming paradigm in mind, along with significantly reduced latency to improve the user's experience. Now, it says that was the conception, and I guess the failure of some other cloud gaming services, it seemed to have dealt a major blow to this model, so I guess they're not really going through with that. But it's interesting that that is how, they wanted the GTA Online 2 to be. So here we start getting into some specific details. So he says it's still going to be based on a semi peer-to-peer architecture. And if you don't know what that means it's not actually on, it's not a server that Rockstar is hosting. And this right here is one of the big reasons why PC at least has a significant amount of cheaters. It's just way easier to cheat on peer-to-peer stuff. It's also one of the reasons why the connections are always so laggy sometimes. Usually you don't get that sort of stuff in a server system. But he continues by saying this new version would benefit from a technical improvement called fluid access. This network technology would have been specifically designed to eliminate the feeling of compartmentalization between different sessions, ensuring a multiplayer experience without interruption. Unlike the current system where, interactions can be limited or fragmented, you have to go into certain or different sessions or different modes. You have to go through different loading screens to get to different things. This fluid access apparently is going to get rid of that. One of the most significant advances would be the ability to perform free roam multiplayer activities with players from different sessions without ever having to leave your own environment or experience loading time. The goal would therefore be to put an end to waiting in menus or the, manual invitations before starting an activity. From now on, everything could happen instantly. And that sounds like such a drastic difference from GTA Online we know now. He also goes into detail on how many more players we'll be getting per session. The next GTA Online is said to be aiming for a seamless and immersive gaming experience with the ambition of reaching up to 96 simultaneous players per session. However, according to my latest information, this figure is currently limited to 64. So I guess the hope is that over the next year, they can get this 64 number to the 96 number, which is way, way higher than the 32, or is it 30 that we have in GTA Online today. And if anyone remembers back when GTA Online first came out, it only launched with 16 people. This is a significant amount of people there. And then he ends the little article here by just saying, you know, obviously things kind of evolved over the course of the game's development. They could have added more stuff, you know, new ambitions, other technical constraints they may have encountered. But I do think these two things here, the 96 players and then the no loading times, that would be such a game changer in GTA Online 2. Now, what's also interesting is this isn't like completely random. 3 or 4 years ago, there was a patent, and this is basically what the patent was describing: a map with certain sections of the map having a specific amount of players, and how it would all be seamless when they transition from one section to another. Like, there'd be no loading times, and this is how you would, you know, get more people on a map while still having stability and, you know, all of that comes with it. So again, this isn't something, you know, that this leaker is just making up. This is something that Rockstar has been trying to do for a few years now, and it sounds like they've succeeded. And as far as the no loading times, I don't know exactly how that would work if you're doing, you know, activities. Obviously, GTA Online at the moment has a million different modes, every single one of them, TDM, races, whatever the case may be. You have to go through a loading screen. How would a no loading screen work? I don't know. Maybe I just can't imagine that, because presumably you're not going to be doing these activities in free roam with other people. Like, I don't think you're going to be doing races in free roam, because then of course you run into the issue of other people trying to grief your race. So I'm not entirely sure how that would work without a loading screen, but it sounds cool. But there are actually some modes that I think could be kind of fun in free roam. You know, heists, for example. Imagine doing a heist and then you have to deal with other people. I guess maybe sometimes it could get annoying, but it would lead to unique experiences that you just wouldn't get in a separate closed off environment. And if I remember correctly, way back in the day, like the golf minigame in GTA Online was in free roam, and there was times when people in jets could grief you. I'm pretty sure Rockstar fixed that like way back then. I think they just have you go into like a passive mode, so you can't get killed or anything like that. So maybe that's the way they solve the issue of people trying to grief you. But I do think this sounds kind of interesting. I mean, look, no loading screens is 100% a good thing for me. I for whatever reason in GTA Online, I had the worst experiences with loading screens. It would constantly take 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 minutes sometimes just to load into a normal mission. And it's not like I have bad internet at all, so I don't think it was on my end at all. So having no loading screens, I think like that's one of the biggest issues with GTA Online, the loading times. So getting rid of that is already sounding like it's going to be really good. And then the 96 players, I mean, I think that's a good amount. Now, I know some people may see that number and think I want even more, because there are some 5M servers that actually have up to 500, I think 1,000 people you could play on a map. But you have to realize, number one, the more people you add, the less stuff you're going to get like in the map. All those small little NPC details, all the amounts of NPCs, all of that stuff goes down the more people you add. So I think 96 is probably would be a good balance of having good amount of NPC population, but then also still having a decent amount of, you know, real people population, players. Also, if you add more, that's just increasing the chances of griefers, and of course we all don't want that. We do also know that the map, GTA 6's map, is about 2 to 2.5 times the size of GTA 5's map. And of course, like I said, GTA 5 has 30 players at the moment. So 96, I think, would be a good balance. Like, that would have you run into people kind of frequently, but not too frequently. And I think that's just a good amount for that size of a map. Now, the leak obviously said at the moment it's only 64. So hopefully they can get up to that 96 amount, because I do think 64 may be a bit too low. But I do think that 96 number is a solid amount of people in a server. But I guess let us know in the comments, you know, is 96, is that a good amount? Again, this is all take with a grain of salt. Maybe this isn't even true. But I will say that these are two of the biggest selling points for me. Like, the amount of people in a server has to be it has to be a good amount. It can't be 30. It can't be a small amount, because you want to interact with people. Like, that's the beauty of GTA Online, is interacting with people, even if they are griefers. And then the loading times. Like, I don't want loading times, especially long loading times and many loading times in this next version of GTA Online. So having seamless sessions. I mean, that sounds like a dream almost. But that is going to do it for today's GTA 6 video. Again, could be fake, but it sounds believable. And going off of that patent, I mean, this is something Rockstar is trying to do. So I'm leaning towards this actually being somewhat true. But also, like I said at the beginning of the video, you know, unfortunately, we're not going to know anything officially from Rockstar, more than likely until next year sometime. So we'll have to wait a bit to know what it's actually going to be. But I think for a start, this leak is very nice sounding. But again, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Please drop a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA 6 content. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.